Assalamualaikum students, welcome to the fourth lecture of your science class. And I hope that you're doing good at your homes, and I hope that you're taking care of yourselves and your parents, and you're also studying and doing your worksheets properly, and you're able to understand what I teach you. And I've already told you so many times that if you are having any sort of trouble, or if you're not able to understand anything, that you can ask the school administration and we will help you out in whatsoever problems that you are facing. And also I would like you to tell you that in the science lecture it's very good for you if you have internet access and if you are at home and if you have internet access. So do not always play games on the internet. Research about it, research about different professions that we have talked about. um, like we had talked about zoologist Dian Fossey in the previous lecture. So I told you that you should research more about it. If you are interested, you should know more about things. It will help you increase your knowledge and it will be good for you. So these are the things that we cannot squeeze in all the things in one lecture. So this requires a lot of research because these are vast topics and they picked some scraps of it and they put it in your books. So it's very good for you if you're going to research and learn and have more information about all these professions. So you should learn each profession, you should learn the names and what does these professionals do, what these scientists do. So in the previous lecture, I have already told you that we have talked about zoologists, we have talked about archaeologists, we have we talk about other professions in a brief manner as well. So in this top chapter, we are in this lesson lecture, we are going to talk about other professions, other scientists, and other scientific professions that you can choose from when you become older. And even if you when you grow up, sorry, even if you don't choose to become one, you should know that what do these people do. So a marine biologist, so what comes to your mind when you say marine biologist? So whenever you hear the word marine, just think about sea or ocean or water, because marine, it means that this is a word which is related to water and sea. So we are already, so a person who dives inside the sea or oceans, or because Allah has created this huge universe, Allah has created a lot of things which still need discovery. So the people who dive into oceans and seas and find out about their about the organisms living there, about the life living there, the ecosystem there, they are called marine biologists. So so they, for that they have to have a proper swimsuit, they have to have this proper attire where where this protective gear and all these things, because and then should know swimming very well. And so these people, they are curious about water and the life underwater. So because there are many wildlife, many creatures, many fishes, different type of fishes and other animals that are residing, and different plants as well that reside underwater. So in order to learn about them, in order to make the world aware of what is inside the under the sea or under the ocean or under the water, the marine biologists are there for us, who dive into the sea or ocean, then they study about all these creatures and they let the world know about it. So marine biologists, they study all type of things that live in the ocean. So these include all the animals, plants, insects and everything that live under the water. The study of animals and plants that live in the ocean and how they interact with the environment is called marine biology. So what is marine biology? The people who study are called marine biologists. The people who study life underwater, under the water or ocean, are called marine biologists. And the study of animals and plants that live in the ocean and how they interact with the environment is called the marine biology. Mathematics, physics, chemistry and biology are important subjects to marine biology, because all these different subjects have some part to play, when we have to do research, when you have to learn about different things. So some, because there are there are chemical processes, there are physical processes, then there's a biological process, then you have to do maths and everything. So all these subjects, they are important when you have to study marine biology. Curiosity and a love for the ocean and the outdoors are a good qualities to have as a marine biologist. So it's very important to for you to have love and affection for water, because not everybody likes to go inside water, and not everybody likes to take risks, because you never know what kind of danger is waiting for you down there. Anyways, people, they are have they done some of the people, human beings, are not comfortable with water. So for that, to be a marine biologist, if you want to become one, you have to have love for ocean and water, and these creatures underwater. You have to have that you know sense of curiosity in you. So, marine biology has a number of different areas, and marine biologists can choose to study a particular group of animals. So, because when you choose a field, it's those that field has subcategories. So, there's one category, there's marine biologist, and then there will be subcategories. So, there is a, because the ocean and sea extremely huge, so there are people who study different fishes, some ostriches, some different types of animals, some plants. So you can, when you grow up, if you want to study, you can choose from different things, that what kind of findings do you need, what kind of things you are interested to know about, like the animals there, the plants there, or just the the minerals or everything, the salt, the stones under the water, and if there are any any precious stones under the water, like pearls, and different species and everything. So you have to choose from that environment, from that categories. A bachelor's degree in marine biology is good enough for the most jobs in the field. Independent research and teaching at a university, however, usually requires a PhD. So PhD means doctorate of philosophy. So if you want to teach at a higher level, at a university level, then usually it's the requirement to have a PhD in whatever subject, not necessarily marine. If you want to teach marine biology, even if you want to study any particular subject, you have to have a PhD to 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 teach the students. So bachelor degree, you have to have a bachelor degree, which is a must for you to to get a to if you want to do job in the field, or if you want to work, or you can do independent research as well. So which means that you don't require any sort of any degree or anything, or you don't need to go to university. But basically, if you need a job as a marine biologist, then you have to have a bachelor's or master's degree. A marine biologist helps an injured crab. So this is a picture of a person who's a marine biologist, and he went to the inside the water, and he has this crab inside it, because this crab lives under the water, or the ocean, or the sea. So it is injured, and he's helping it out. So, and a marine biologist studies a yellow bar in angelfish. This is a yellow bar angelfish. So there are different species inside the water, and there are different names to them. So we don't know much about them. So, but if you want to learn more about it, you should research on your own. So, what do marine biologists do? Marine biologists, they study plant life. They do studying plant life, identifying animals, collecting and analyzing data, researching and sharing findings with the general public are just some of the things marine biologists do. Okay, over 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by ocean. So you know that this Earth is 70% water and 30% land. That is why marine biology is so important. So because there's a lot of water in this earth, a lot of ocean, a lot of seas, so we need to, because 70%, which is a huge amount of the part of the earth that is water, so we need to study about it, we need to know, we need to be aware of it. So that's why it is very important. Ocean trenches can be as deep as 10,916 meters. So which is about 35,814 feet. So these oceans, they are very deep. Sea is very deep, so they can be deep as around this amount of they can be as deep as this amount. And so why is so what's the job of basically marine biology? Basically studying life, identifying animals, different animals, to identify them, and they collect and analyze the data, and they research more about them, and they, whatever they find, they share it with the general public. So, what are examples of some of the examples that of marine life or some animals that live there are shark, dolphins, ostriches, scorpions, and all these fishes that live inside the water, trouts and other fishes. So there's a question over here. Who was Jacques Cousteau? Was what was his contribution to marine biology? So do you know anything about this person? I even I don't know anything about this person. So he must be a very famous marine biologist. So let's see. Let's look at some of the history of the marine biology. As early as 1200 BC, Phoenicians began voyages using the stars as a guide. Ancient Greek and Phoenician history refers to the sea as a way for travel and food source. So voyage means that a long journey, which is usually done by ship. So a long journey or long travel by ship. So people in around in the early 1200 BC, there were these people who were called Phoenicians. So they used the star as a guide. So they used to travel and by ships from the through the sea and through the oceans, and they used stars as the guide for them, as a they whatever the stars used to tell, they used to travel according to the stars. They used to help take the help of a star, and they used to travel and sail in the ships to various different parts. So, ancient Greek and Phoenician referred to the sea as a way for travel and food source. So, these people, they knew that they why did they travel, and why did they do this voyage? Because they wanted to travel first of all, and then they need food. So they food for, because at the they needed food for themselves, so they used to have these long journeys in the sea and ocean, and they used to sail through oceans and the seas to find food for themselves, because there are fishes inside and there are different other you know scorpions and other things that can be eaten. So so they used to travel, and these people were called Phoenicians, and they used to travel to find food inside the sea or ocean. The first recorded mentions of marine life were by Aristotle in his writings. So Aristotle was a very famous scientist, or who mentioned about marine life. In the previous times, the science did not develop that much, so there was we did not have internet or phones or anything, so people used to write down things. There was the only source of information that one had. So marine life, the first mentions of the marine life was done by Aristotle in his writing. He used to write books. He was a philosopher, so he used to write about marine life in his books. So people then got to know that there's life underwater as well. He identified many types of species such as fishes, mollusks, um, crustaceans, and echinoderms. He classified cetaceans as mammals and stated marine vertebrates are either um, viviparous, means that producing eggs that hatch within the body, or oviparous, means producing eggs that hatch outside the body. Aristotle is referred to as the father of marine biology because he was the first to record his observations about marine life. So this is some of the history of marine life, and we know that Aristotle is one of the most important founders of marine life. So he, because animals are divided into different groups, and the kind of food they eat, and the kind of the kind of physical features, and the food they eat and everything, so he divided these animals inside the which he found inside the inside the marine life or inside the sea or ocean, under the sea or ocean, into different categories. He said, there are species such as fish or mollusk or crustaceans and echinoderms, and he said that these cetaceans as mammals, are are a group of animals that or animals or human beings or living things that lay eggs or they produce babies. So and stated marine vertebrates are either viviparous, said that these vertebrates that are present in the sea life. Vertebrates, are, as you know, are animals or living things that have a bone inside them, that have a spine inside them. So, like just like animals, or some of the animals like tiger or cheetah or human beings or other different animals that have spine in them are called vertebrates. Um, so. Um, so he divided these marine vertebrates into viviparous or oviparous. Oviparous means producing eggs that hatch within the body. So there are viviparous means that they used to produce eggs that were inside the body, and oviparous means that just like lizards or birds, they lay eggs in the nest, or or a snake that lays eggs outside the body in the in environment. Then these things were called these animals were called oviparous. So Aristotle is referred to as the father of marine biology. He is known as the father of marine biology. So you should remember that who is known as the father of marine biology? Aristotle. So there's a question over here, student, which is called who is Jacques Cousteau? What was his contribution to the marine biology? So I would like you to do this at home. That you should research more about it and learn, write down. Just briefly about it in your notebook. So in the next lecture we're going to talk about astronomers, and today we have talked about marine biology, and I hope that you found it interesting. So now your task is to find out about this person called Jacques Cousteau, and what was his contribution to marine biology. So in the next lecture we're going to talk about astronomers. So I have told you that you should research more about it. So in the next lecture, um, I'm going to talk about astronomers. So till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.